If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Let Jesus lead you. Let Jesus lead you. Let Jesus lead you all the way from earth to heaven. Let Jesus lead you all the way. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is August the 4th, 2023, and today the topic is Tell God Your Plans. Like I said, happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. I guess I must apologize for being a little bit tardy to the party. I started the live at 6:15, but I know I said I was going to have these things out by 6. All I know is that my mom called me out, y'all. She sent me a message, said she go, "Where the juice? I need something to sip on." I said, you know what? She said, "I need my juice to sip on." I said, It's coming. So here I am, y'all. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I hope that you all are too. Man, I hope y'all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Work, mainly that's the main event for yesterday. I'm trying to think. Is there anything significant at least to share? Well, so while I was there at work, we had a meeting, what they call basically like a team meeting with the youth department, I guess you would say. And, talking about upcoming events, things like that. And how about they ask your girl, me, yours truly, to perform as my character, Madam Miraculous, at an upcoming event. To God be the glory. You know what I'm saying? Opportunities and things like that. You know what I'm thinking about doing, y'all? Y'all can let me know if y'all think I'm crazy. I'm thinking about just giving all the kids my book. Y'all let me know if y'all think I'm crazy. But, now that's over 100-something kids, because we always preparing for over 100-something kids every Sunday. So that would be a huge investment if I was to make it myself. But on the flip side, I'm like, it's an investment at the end of the day. Obviously, the church, the Lord through the church, obviously has been a blessing to me in my life. I think it will be a surprise and something that's like a nice little touch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to pray about it, seek the Lord about it and everything like that. But that's something I'm considering based on the fact that they asked me to perform and whatnot. We're going to see what the Lord do. But yeah, that's just something that happened yesterday that was pretty cool. Other cool stuff happened or whatever, being able to work, being able to eat, all those things are great. Now I can't think of anything else of significance to share with you guys, outside of this. So y'all may be wondering, what is the inspiration for today? Today's conversation, tell God your plans. Well, I want to give a shout out to my husband, y'all. Because I would say that he was my muse for today's conversation. I think y'all may know that he's in another job right now. One that is, doing what it needs to do in regards to being an investor for him in our household and everything like that. But it's not something that he enjoys, basically. And I believe it's pushing him into his purpose, though, y'all. Because it's you know, with being something that he doesn't necessarily want to do, I believe it's kind of forcing him to think beyond his original thoughts and things of that nature. So I'm cheering him on, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, help him see the silver lining and things of that nature. And I guess that's all well and good. I'm not trying to push him into entrepreneurship, even though he probably think I am. But I guess some of my advice is just based on like the things that he say, right? And my thing is, a lot of the stuff that we think we need something else for or whatever is things that we probably should do or could do. And things. But if that's not, obviously, his lane or whatever the case is, I mean, by all means, again, like we talked about the other day, take in the meat, spit out the bones and everything like that. But regardless, right, I'm going to try my best to encourage and inspire him along the way and cheer him on and let him know that he's appreciated, right, for this sacrifice that he's making by doing something he doesn't necessarily want to do and everything like that. But anywho, aside from all of that, basically, I would say more so the inspiration for today's conversation comes from like his attempt to plan down things to every detail, plan money to the penny, plan things to the letter, right? And although, again, it's amazing to be with a man with a plan, you know what I'm saying? And it's amazing to, see how his mind works and stuff like that, because obviously our minds work differently, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one over here creative, taking risks and whatever, right? And he's the one that's methodical and, planning things to the T with charts and numbers and things, right? And that's probably, again, why God brought us together. You see what I'm saying? We can help each other in that regard and things of that nature. Because I feel like we both have some strengths and skills that we bring into our relationship. However, there's just one thing that I've learned in my 30-something years, right? And I am a little bit older than him. I think y'all know that. But still, I mean, not to be like he's not mature or something like that, because he's very mature, obviously, for his age and things like that. But what I'm saying is, right, there's some things I've learned, or just one thing in particular that I kind of want to use as the catalyst, I guess, for this conversation. And that is the concept, right, of getting out of the way of the Lord's plan. I had to learn that, and once I learned it, I believe that's what got me to where I'm at today. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I still make some plans. You know what I mean? I still got to-do lists. I still got goals and things of that nature. But trying to force God's will into my idea is not something I even attempt to do anymore. I tell y'all all the time, I'm more so like, Lord, okay, what we doing then? You know what I mean? Like, if I make one step or whatever, I see an open door, I go through it. If it's closed, okay, well, Lord, where you want me to go? Things of that nature. And then when I got the multiple open doors, because y'all know how that is, the temptations of, well, maybe, I can do everything, but then God just showing me, nah, you might need to use your discernment on one thing versus another and things like that. I've shared all of these things with y'all in my process, and especially this year, right? Because there was some decisions I was going back and forth about earlier this year and things like that. And I'm grateful, right? I'm grateful I feel like I made the right decision regarding the choices, right? And everything like that, right? But basically, what I'm saying is, and I want to say good morning to Miss Leah. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in this morning live. She says amen. So listen. This resonated with somebody already. So to God be the glory. But yeah, that's just something that I've learned, right? At the end of the day, we've all heard the quote, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, which apparently is made famous by Woody Allen. I did a little deep dive into Woody Allen this morning. That don't have nothing to do with the conversation, so I'm going to leave that alone because it's something on another level. But, I mean, we'll just take the quote for today. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. But not even just that about the making him laugh part. I think, again, as we plan, we need to be always considering the Lord and His will, His way, and things of that nature. Because you can make all the plans all day, but if that ain't what the Lord wants to happen, with you, for you, through you, in your life, whatever the case is, then it ain't gonna happen. And that's just what it is. Now, not to say, right, that the things that's on your heart and mind isn't part of God's plan, right? Because again, right, throughout my life, I tell y'all, lately I feel like I am walking and living the dreams and goals and things that I had in my heart and mind years ago, right? I saw myself as an entrepreneur. I saw myself with books. I saw myself creating, things of that nature. I saw myself with like a boutique or store or something that had to do with fashion. And I'm pretty much in the midst of all of that, especially today, right? I think I have all those things that I envision. They might be a little bit different from the way that I envision it, but I am in the midst of it. And I think that's the thing. You got to be okay with it looking a little bit different part. And I don't think sometimes we are okay with that, right? Because we sometimes expect things to look exactly the way we envision it or something along those lines. And that may not be God's will. Again, I say all the time, GSL is the perfect example. Because in my head, years ago, it was a talk show. It looked like The Real. It looked like perhaps me and some other ladies at a table. You know what I'm saying? Maybe an audience. Things like that. And GSL isn't necessarily looking like that. Obviously, everything has been virtual thus far. There's multiple shows on the channel outside of just the talk show. We've had some panels and things like that, but majority of the content is not just say it's me, but it's one-on-one interviews and this daily inspiration segment or show and things of that nature. And the ideas go beyond the original idea of just some women coming to the table and talking. And again, thus far, nothing has been in person in that regard. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too, because again, I know one of the things or one of the benefits of things going the way that God wanted it to go is the reach. Because again, the amazing conversations and amazing people that I met from around the world, there would have been no way that none of that would have happened if I was doing it the way that I thought that I was going to be doing it. Like if I was only focusing on getting some women together, for example, and building it here in Atlanta and stuff like that, we would have probably, got a few people, maybe some surrounding states or something like that might have would have come and been a part of it or something like that. But talking to people over in the UK, Australia, Philippines, Canada, the first girl that hit me up in Mexico that was listening to the podcast, having this conversation recently with these people in Pakistan, all of the different amazing things that has happened, right? If I wasn't virtual, right, and doing this thing the way it's being done, then I don't think it would have reached as far as it's reached. And so what am I saying? I'm saying that, again, we got to learn to be okay with God's will, way, and plan. And I believe that, again, He gives us ideas and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with putting a plan in place and things of that nature. But I just think trying to plan things to the letter, to the T, I think that's where some of our disappointment and things of that nature will come from. Because then if it doesn't come or it doesn't happen right the way that you expect, then we get upset. We're discouraged and things of that nature. And so I hope that today's conversation will help us avoid that, right? And everything like that. I'm praying for my husband and stuff, because I'm going to do my part to cheer him on and do my part to, try to share some wisdom or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, I honor him in his position. I'm pray for him and let the Lord lead him. You know what I mean? That's another thing too. Wives, listen, We maybe think, we may think we know all the things and can, oh, why don't he just listen to me, X, Y, and Z? Um, let the man be the man. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with letting the man be the man. I know some people struggle with that, but I'm okay with letting my husband lead and know, and the things that he's great and skilled at, and just really in all the things in our relationship, whatever the case is, we communicate. I let my thoughts and whatnot be known, and then outside of that, I just give it to God, and let God lead him. So, but yeah, y'all, let's get into this, y'all. Tell God your plan. So I was led to write this verse down first, and it's Proverbs 19:21. It says, "Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand." Again, it just puts things into perspective. Like, you can have all the plans in the world, but if that ain't God's will, then it ain't gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to add to that. I think I've already reiterated that with everything I've already said. So let's go ahead and go to Proverbs 3:5-6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." At the end of the day, again, in all our ways acknowledge him. Like, come up with the plan, write down the vision, all that, right? And present it to the Lord. Seek his will and way, and ask the Lord, like, is this your will for me in my life? How would you like me to do this or that, if this is your will for me in my life? Like, yeah, I mean, it's important, like that verse says right there in the middle, do not lean on your own understanding. Again, I understand the difficulty it may be, right, or how difficult it may be to think about the things of the Spirit. Because, again, when you're just, you're living your physical life, you got bills, you probably, you have a household to look after, for example, if you have a wife or, a spouse or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? You got children, whatever, you got things that are right in front of you that you're trying to, manage and get through day by day by day, right? And so, and then there's a lot of us that want to, again, we want to leave generational wealth, or build generational wealth, and just all these different things that we aspire to do. And those things are honorable and they're great. But I guess, again, what I'm seeing here as the wisdom is to not lean on our own understanding about what we should do, how we should do it, and things of that nature. Like, perhaps there's something in the wisdom of God that will get us to that next level of where we want to be, but we have to surrender, right? We have to lay down our idea for God's idea, and things of that nature. Sometimes we might have to do something that don't make no sense at all, right? You're like, man, I don't understand why this, why that. But then next thing you know, when the things fall into place, then you'll see, and sometimes, again, it's not for us to understand the big picture at the beginning. I think God reveals a little bit at a time. Possibly because sometimes we would, not say we would just mess it up, but then there's certain things we probably wouldn't do based on knowing the whole picture and things of that nature. So, seek God for the wisdom at the end of the day. Present your things to the Lord, and try not to lean on your own understanding. He's going to make straight your paths. That's ultimately what this verse is saying, y'all. And let's keep going. I got another verse for y'all. It's Proverbs 16:3. It says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." Again, I'm going to read that again. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Like, if you want some guarantee, then that sounds like a guarantee to me. That don't sound like, well, it might be if you da 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 da. And that says will. And I'm a living witness here today. The more I commit my work ideas and focus on doing the will and things of the Lord, things are being established. Now, maybe it might not be looking the way that people think it should and all of that, right? But I see what God has done with me, for me, and through me in my life. The more that I commit my work to him. And I mean, it builds my faith. I mean, I don't know where everybody else is or whatever, but the more this type of stuff keeps happening, the more I'll be like, well, let me keep going, and things like that. So, I mean, ultimately, this is all the verses that I felt led to share today. I mean, I only have one section that's in the Go Deeper section. And you guys can, peruse that and let that marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But I find it very interesting, the Bible verse of today, because if I was to be doubting, right, that the Lord wanted me to talk about this morning, the verse I started with this morning is what the Bible verse of today is. So again, for your listening ears, Proverbs 19:21. It says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Now, just a reminder, tonight we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out, and it's with Miss Jill Schultz. She's sharing a powerful testimony about some childhood trauma that she overcame and things of that nature. So be on the lookout for that episode again tonight at 7 p.m. You guys can see it at godsexandlove.com. And yeah, y'all have a fabulous Friday. I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Are you engaged? Married? Separated? Friends, don't give up. Let no man separate what God has joined together, not even you. Transform your marriage and your idea of marriage today with Marriage Reignited. This program is a insightful look into marriage and what are the true needs of his and her. You guys can get a discount when you use Miracle Video or Miracle Combo. Miracle Video will get you $5 off of the video, and Miracle Combo will give you $10 off of the video and book. Check out marriagereignited.com for more information. That's MarriageReignited.com. And again, that's Miracle Video, MiraCleVideo, or Miracle Combo, MiraCleCombo.